I'm Yuri.
I'm Jakub.
And we're going for a drive.
...2019 Toyota Rav4 Trail.
Toyota.
Yeah, that's why I said it, because you said Toyota.
I usually say Toyota. It's because I rush through my words.
Toyota.
Toyota.
All right, now that we're through that.
Horsepower and torque.
203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque from a 2.5 liter four-cylinder engine.
So this one is all-wheel drive.
Yes, it is.
Some of them don't have all-wheel drive.
The base models don't, but you can get all-wheel drive in a non-trail trim. There are no mechanical changes to the Trail, which is kind of insane because the 4Runner, the Trail editions, they have mechanical differences and stuff like that. This one has no mechanical differences from all the other versions.
And Trail is the adventure in the United States of America.
That is correct.
So let's start with the looks, because this is newly redesigned and it looks so friggin' cool.
I love it.
Compared to everything that Honda's putting out, Toyota, I think, is making their cars look a lot better in the late 2010s.
I agree. Toyota models look really, really good right now. I really like what they did with the front end of this one, especially the Trail, because the Trail looks a lot different than all the other models. This is the one that stands out from all the rest.
This one looks very cartoonish. Like if you drew a comic book character with like a big grin, like that, I think that's the way the front end looks to me.
The front end of this one looks like a 4Runner to me, and on Instagram, I called this a 4Runner. Everyone got so mad. It was a joke. I said Rav4 at the end. Follow us on Instagram, TheStraightPipes, Yuri.
And also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get a notification at 8 a.m. on Tuesdays and Fridays when our video goes live. We don't spam. It's safe.
Do it. I don't think there's anything too special about the front end, like the headlights and stuff like that. They don't really look that good, but as a whole front end package, it looks good.
Well, the headlights don't stand out on their own. Like they're not fancy LEDs. You always have like a headlight on in the middle.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
We got fog lights that are different colors.
Yeah, they're halogen. Come on, Toyota, stop doing that, please.
But like overall, it looks cool. Like from the side view with the white roof on top, it looks really, really cool and aggressive. Like very future to me.
Yeah, definitely very future, but also kind of like a throwback. I don't know, it looks really good. Whatever they did with this model, it looks really good. It's a huge upgrade from the previous one.
The back end doesn't look that great though.
It looks all right.
Looks plain, flat, but it matches the rest of the car, so it's okay.
But again, way better than the previous gen.
Yeah. What do you think of the wheels?
I think they look all right. They don't really like stand out to me.
I think they match the car pretty well.
Yeah, that's about it.
And how about the exhaust tips?
The exhaust tips are 2010 reel?
I think they're go to Canadian Tire and bolt on bigger tips to your regular exhaust reel.
I think I did that in 2010. But at least they're not fake and hidden under the bumper. And I have one major complaint, the brake lights.
Okay, so the brake lights are on the sides. What's the big issue?
They are little dots when you hit the brakes.
Like, it's pretty visible to me. I hadn't had any trouble seeing that you hit the brakes when you were driving this in front of me.
I think they should have illuminated the entire light. Yes, there's the third brake light, but there's just little dots. I think they could have done a little bit more. Considering it's Toyota, a little bit safer.
So now let's move into the inside before we talk about driving dynamics. And let's start with this awesome orange trimmed interior everywhere.
It does look cool, and I believe you can only get it on the Trail.
This is like the coolest color layout with this whitish gray interior. It's nice and soft, and we got orange stitching and orange stuff. Like, I absolutely love the look of it.
I feel like manufacturers may have agreed that orange is the future because Volvo did kind of the same thing.
Like, it looks so good.
It does look really cool. But it also kind of looks cartoony, fitting with the rest of the body on the outside.
The next thing I really like about the interior is the pattern they have on the volume knobs, air conditioning knobs, and on the handles. It's like tire tread pattern almost.
It is the best. It's so cool, so grippy. No matter what you're wearing, if you're wearing gloves, you're not wearing them, you can always adjust everything.
And the feel of the volume knob and the air conditioning knobs are great too. Like, it doesn't feel flimsy or anything. All your radio stations and volume works exactly how you think it should. Then with satellite radio, which we do have in here, it rewinds 20 satellite radio stations, which is great. And then we also have Apple CarPlay and no Android Auto.
Is this a joke, Toyota? Like, at this point, this is a brand new refresh, completely new model, no Android Auto.
Yeah, bomber. Have fun with your Pixel 3 in your cup holder, looking at your Google Maps.
Why would I do that? Because I'd have it in my wireless charger, looking at my Google Maps.
I did find one glitch though when I was using Apple CarPlay in this car. So when you're using your maps, you can click this map button on the left to go right to your map mode on Apple CarPlay. But I think it's programmed for Apple Maps, but I deleted that off my phone. So when I click it, it'll go to Google Maps once, and then when I go back, it won't go back to map again. And then my phone gets nonstop notifications asking me if I want to re-download Apple Maps.
That's kind of funny, but at least they enable you to be able to go to map through that button.
Once.
Yes.
And then you go back and then you can't go back again.
Okay, well that's kind of bad then.
And then there's no button to go right to your CarPlay. You can click phone, but it'll always go to your phone settings. I think the hard buttons are nice, but they need to add some custom buttons like Hyundai and Kia does.
Yeah, but overall, this infotainment, I think they did everything right compared to Lexus. There's no stupid touchpad, and it's kind of the same layout, but they just made it a touchscreen and an accessible distance away from your arm.
Yeah, I think Lexus should make their infotainment a lot closer or add a physical like wheel thing instead of the touchpad.
Exactly, so Toyota has the solution in-house. They just need to make that the Lexus solution as well.
Well, they gotta make it fancier to charge more.
I know. Make it fancier and work better. Generally, the interior materials are very good. There's some cheap plastics down by your legs, but everywhere that you kind of touch is very good. Now the seats, very comfortable.
They are very comfortable. My only issue is there's no presets.
Yeah, I know. This is a Toyota, it's not a Lexus, so I can't understand that.
Yeah, but...
And the passenger one is not powered, only the driver one is powered.
Which is pretty standard for not high-end cars.
Exactly.
Quickly, now a rear seat test.
And it was all right.
Now the gauges. So it's analog on the sides and digital in the middle. You can have an analog and a digital mode in the settings. I prefer the digital mode because then you always have your speedo at the top, and they try to connect the analog rings right around the sides, which I think is very cool.
I like the analog gauge, but I don't think there's enough contrast in normal mode. I have to drive it in sport mode to be able to get enough contrast to see what speed I'm going.
And you can't just stick up your speedo. You always have to rely on that needle thing.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. There's not enough contrast on the needle in normal mode.
And then when you're in your eco, normal, and sport mode, it shows up there too. What's funny about this car is you can do double eco mode.
Really?
Yeah, so if you go into eco mode, it'll say eco, and then if you drive economically, it'll show another eco.
I see that. Okay, that is a little weird.
Eco, bro. So now before we let you drive, let's do a small cup of coffee test, visor test, and a box test.
Small cup of coffee, passes.
Yeah, you got enough room to grab around the sides. Visor test. Oh, it's definitely not gonna pass. 3, 2, 1.
Fail,
but,
and
okay,
extension.
In its defense, if I pull this out and I angle it like this, that's kind of okay.
No. You have to like twist it and make it work.
Exactly. It kind of works.
Fail. Box test. 12. Go get your own box. Patreon.com/TheStraightPipes.
Rav4, more like Rav4 it.
That sounds absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's kind of gross sounding.
It's so loud too. The car is overall very quiet. When you're driving it, the cabin's nice and quiet, but the engine, as soon as you floor it, it is so loud.
But it's kind of enough speed for a car like this.
I think it's bordering on being just enough where I don't call it slow.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's about it though. There's no lag because it's naturally aspirated. There's no turbo stuff like Honda's doing.
Too bad they don't have the turbo motor from the CX-5, eh?
That would be pretty fun.
And the transmission.
So it's got an 8-speed auto transmission, not a CVT, so thank you. However, apparently the hybrid uses a CVT.
Yeah, but hybrids are in a world of their own.
Exactly. So we do have a couple different drive modes. We have Eco, Normal, Sport, then we have Mud and Sand, and then we have Rock and Dirt. And then we also have Snow, and then Hill Descent, and then Normal again.
I think they did a pretty good job of fitting that all in right there, and they didn't make it piano black.
Exactly. However, I don't notice any difference in any of these modes other than Sport and Normal, but everything else just doesn't really feel like it makes a difference. However, I have not been fully able to test it on Murder Mountain or anything like that.
What's nice is that when you set it to eco mode, when you get to your car next time, it'll still start up in eco mode.
That is pretty cool. Then if you move the shifter to the left, you have S mode, which forces up and down manual mode. And the transmission actually shifts pretty quickly. So when you use it, it'll downshift really quick. It's like pretty damn good for what it is. And if you leave it in auto, it shifts pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, just leave this car in auto.
Exactly. And since this has all-wheel drive, it actually has torque vectoring, and it can disconnect the entire drive shaft to the back wheels. So it'll coast and you'll get way better gas mileage.
I forgot to mention something about the trunk. We don't have any grocery bag hangers, but what is very cool is that you have your privacy cover stored underneath the back cover.
That is very cool. And now I'm going to test that torque vectoring into Cliche Corner. When you send this car into Cliche Corner, it actually does pretty well. There's definitely a lot of understeer at first, and there's also tons of body roll, but once you get past that, it's completely fine. It's really comfortable to drive on the roads. There's no issues with potholes or anything like that. The build quality feels almost Lexus level.
It's definitely very solid.
Yeah, like it's solid, comfortable, doesn't feel cheap. I like it. And something else that you probably care about in your daily commute, this does have lane keep assist and adaptive cruise, and it works really, really well. This is the best Toyota I've driven with lane keep assist. The steering is really light. It's exactly what you want in a daily commuter and something that you'll occasionally maybe take off-road to the cottage.
Well, that's not really off-roading, that's a gravel road.
Yeah, but maybe you live at the cottage.
I don't know like what kind of off-roading you would do in this.
I don't either.
Like, is there anywhere you can even drive that's not a road that you don't get in trouble in?
Probably not.
I think that's like an 80s thing.
Yeah, that's not a thing around here anymore.
No, you just go like right to jail.
Yeah.
Trespassing.
Or the Straight Pipes Ranch whenever we're allowed to go back there.
Yeah. So actually, leave a comment below if you go off-roading somewhere that's not a road and not a gravel road, because...
And is legal.
Yeah, even not illegal if you just do it. Let us know. Send us a picture. I want to see where people actually off-road that's not gravel road or not like a trail.
And something that's like a Rav4, like not like, you know, your big old lifted Jeep type thing.
Yeah.
Like a normal SUV crossover thing.
Maybe you go to like a strawberry picking farm and like a good parking spot's a little farther in.
Maybe. And that's pretty much it. I really like this overall.
Let's get to the price.
One price, because we are driving the trail. $39,230 with the optional Lunar Rock paint.
Okay, that's kind of expensive.
You think so?
$39,000?
I don't think that's that bad for something like this.
Compared to the Crosstrek?
Yeah, I guess so.
That was 30 grand, and like, yeah, it's smaller, yeah, it's a lifted car, but it's all kind of in the same thing.
I just feel more comfortable in this.
I think I like the infotainment in that one more.
Infotainment, yes, because it actually did have Android Auto.
And then these buttons aren't as good as like a Kia Hyundai button would be on the side.
Yeah, that's true.
And then after the CX-5, like I'm in love with that infotainment too, but this is very good still.
Yes, but the CX-5 is definitely better.
Yeah. Looks-wise, compared to the competition, I definitely think this does look better. It definitely does take the cake.
Yeah, exactly. This is definitely my favorite in terms of looks in this class.
So I guess if you're interested in one, compared to the competition, it's up to preference, really. It's like, what little things matter to you the most? Am I an Android person? Maybe not interested.
Yeah.
Do I like Toyotas more than the Hondas for looks? Maybe I'll go Toyota.
Yeah, that's about it.
So don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get a notification at 8 a.m. on Tuesdays and Fridays, right when our videos go live.
Check out our merch store, check out patreon.com/TheStraightPipes, and join our YouTube membership for early access to videos.
I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive.
I am so sick of crossovers.
Okay, we're doing crossovers, we're doing the SUVs that are boring, we're doing the non-clickbait cars because we're actually trying to do cool reviews for people who are interested in buying cars.
It's not that I don't like this, I just don't like crossovers.
I'm just bored.
I'm just trying to be an unbiased professional journalist.
I need some sports cars in my life.
So do I. Like anything.
Next week though.
Yeah.
Next week's gonna be good.
It is.
We got a Beamer and a Benz.